Oh, it's already recording. That's great. I look really smart now. Well, hello, Internet. I am Matthew Collins. I speak to you now on my webcam, which is a really interesting implement. It's something that I haven't used before, but I'm just beginning to use it right now, and I don't know, it seems pretty cool so far. That's entirely beside the point. Anyways, yeah. I live in Cincinnati, Ohio. I gotta tell you, this place is retarded. Don't ever come to, don't ever come to Ohio. It's a waste of your time. It is probably the most retarded place that anyone has ever chosen to colonize in the history of America. And let me tell you, there have been some pretty retarded things in the history of America. So when I say it's the most retarded of anything in America, you better believe it's pretty freaking retarded. I say freaking because there are people here in my house right now that I don't think would appreciate me using the other word. Yeah, pretty much. Regardless, I was hanging out with someone today. We were driving in my car, of course, because she couldn't dare to use, someone else's car or have me drive my car while we were hanging out. I don't know. She just really wants to drive, and she didn't have her own car, so she was driving my car. And she drives like a maniac in my car. Just so you know, she's not driving normally in my car. So she's driving sporadically down the road, kind of like a crazed crack addict, frightening everyone nearby, which is amazing considering the people that are nearby are like a whole bunch of guys who are pretending to be gangster black guys, and some of them are even white. And they're trying to act all tough, and suddenly they see this person driving down the street like a maniac, and they're like, "Oh, Jesus, don't hurt me." And then they were like, "Sorry, Jesus, I knew you weren't going to hurt me, I just want to make sure." Okay, they weren't actually talking to Jesus. They were talking to they weren't, actually they didn't even say any of those things. I'm just, they freaked out. They got scared. They weren't, I don't know what they said. They probably just said, "Oh shit," or "Oh hails no," something like that. I don't know. Regardless. So we were driving around, and, we had this, we had this person in the way. There was a person in the road. It was an extremely fat lady. And, when we about hit her, she started running, and it made me realize something. That normal people, they run all about just about the same, They all run just about do, they run normally. But fat people, every fat person has their own special running technique. It's because, the human body isn't supposed to run when it's that size. It's supposed to lay down on the ground and die. But they've discovered a way to run. Each of them has their own special way. You got the ones that lean forward and carry their gut with their hands so that it doesn't fall out or something. I don't know. They just think it's going to fall. So they run kind of like, I don't know, almost as if they think they're football players, but instead of, carrying a ball here, they're carrying their own gut. And then there's the ones that lean back like Fat Albert when they run. And those guys are always my favorite to watch, and that's actually how this lady won. Ran. And what was interesting is because unlike a fat guy, alright, who has relatively large boobs that bounce around, she was an extremely fat woman. So these things were kind of bouncing around everywhere, killing pedestrians. No, it wasn't killing people. It was just, giving them concussions when it hit them in the head and they smashed into the nearby vehicles. That's a dramatization, of course, but, you get the idea. They were ridiculous. It was unthinkable. And I have to tell you, I'm going to have nightmares about massive things like that smashing. It's kind of like, okay, you remember when those little teddy bear guys on Star Wars were fighting with the giant metal things, whatever, the AT-ATs or whatever, AT-STs? Something like that. The chickens, alright? The giant metal chickens that have guns on them. Alright, you remember when the little teddy bears were fighting the giant metal chickens? Alright, yes you do. Well, you remember that one they destroyed by bringing the two logs, to get... Yeah. That's what happens, alright, with this girl's boobs. It destroys a metal chicken. It doesn't destroy a metal chicken. It kills people instead. Alright? That's not right. People who are really, really heavy, please, you don't have to run. Leave running to the people who are supposed to run. Because this is wrong. Alright? Or at least don't run like Fat Albert or like a football player carrying their football with your gut instead. I mean, run normal. Just kind of walk briskly or something. I don't know. Just don't do that. It's ridiculous. It looks like the rolls turn into like thousands of pancakes flapping up and down on top of you. It's not right. It's not right at all. Anyway, so we finally got to our destination, which was a library. Now, you might be wondering, why would you go to the library? Everyone knows you're already the most literate person in the entire universe, Matt. You don't need the library. I know. We were going there for recipes. You know, because she wants to cook. That's where women belong, by the way, cooking. Not me. I would never do that. By the way, I can cook a few things, just so you know. But I'm not gay, if that's what you're thinking. I'm not gay. So don't even try that. I'm not. Anyway, so we went in there, and there are these really poor guys in there. There always are. You know them. You love them. It's those kids that don't have computers at home. So they go to the library and they sit on the library computers for countless hours, looking at none other than MySpace. You gotta wonder what they're doing on MySpace. It's not like they can really do any sort of dating on MySpace. They don't have time to write blogs on MySpace. They don't have time to do anything. Here's what they're doing, alright? Ready? Here's what they're... Oh, man. Oh. Countless porn stars want to be my friends. I love it when I get these friend requests. Alright. Oh, nice website. Countless porn stars on your website. Awesome. Oh, I'm just gonna click it. His own penis in his Oh, okay, good. The computer shut down by too many viruses. How convenient. What do you mean I'm under arrest for destroying the computer? No! And then they get shot. Exactly. They get shot because you can't destroy the library's computers. The libraries are kind of like sentry turrets, you know? Their heads open up to reveal a gun that shoots the people who destroy the computers with viruses from MySpace pages run by porn stars. I don't actually know if they're probably not even porn stars at those sites, you know? They're just like really fat 40-year-old men who make countless sites just like that, and they're like, yeah, I'm just gonna get a whole bunch of money by doing this. It's better than making ads on the internet. But I don't know. They probably don't even say that. It's probably Dick Cheney who's doing that. I would imagine that he would do something like that. In between bouts of shooting senators, he makes websites that are supposed to be pornography. Regardless. So we leave the library after acquiring a few recipes, and after Amber, how should I call this? Gracefully makes fun of some Arab people who walked in, which was incredibly embarrassing. It was sort of embarrassing. It was simultaneously funny because I know that they couldn't understand anything she was saying because she was whispering. So it was kind of sad because I knew that little kid couldn't possibly want to blow anything up. But yeah, those jokes were actually kind of funny now that I think about it because that was pretty cool. Anyway, so yeah, Arab people made fun of, and yeah, so we left the library after getting some recipes, and well, we were met by a guy who was listening to extremely loud rap music in his vehicle. He's driving down the street. The street is very poorly paved, by the way, so it's a little bumpy, right? His extremely loud rap music is skipping. All right, now I don't know.